sometimes you just need to talk. Talk about how you're feeling, especially if you're dealing with anxiety, which is one of the symptoms of fibromyalgia. Now, I am quite fortunate in that my dear wife, she's pretty darn good. Apart from the fact she's got hearing loss, that makes it a little bit difficult. But, she's a very caring person. So I'm quite fortunate, but she's not here at the moment. So if I'm feeling a little bit low or something, a little bit anxiety and what have you, I've got to try and manage it on my own. And there's plenty of people out there with fibromyalgia who are on their own. And some people from groups and that I've joined have said that they are single now because of their fibromyalgia. The husbands have left. I say husbands because fibromyalgia is more prolific amongst women, not men. And although I am a fibromyalgia sufferer myself, I don't get it as bad as some women do. I haven't got it as bad as some women. It just feels a little bit cruel to desert your other half because they're sick. That feels very cruel. But I can also understand that maybe we can be unbearable because we become too expressive. We talk about it too much. We moan about the aches and the pains and how we're feeling, what have you. And we're laying all that burden on our other half. Literally, burden or bludgeoning, bash them over the head with it constantly. They don't necessarily want to live like that themselves, it become too much for people. I understand that. But there are people out there who, you've probably got friends maybe. If you have a half left, maybe on your own, and maybe go to the pub with your mates and talk about it, but be careful. You don't want to push them away by going on about it constantly. You could bring it into conversation. I mentioned the previous video about Lady Gaga. She's dealing with her fibromyalgia, and she seems not to have it. Isn't suffering with the pain anymore since she's been smoking pot. Well, she had was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 2017. But it's just having that conversation with people, not actually just talking about you all the while. Make it a two-way conversation, a participation. I think sometimes because we have a lot to moan about, we overdo it and we just bore people. And I think we've got to be careful that we don't bore the people who are the closest to us, the people that we care about, the people who actually be giving us support. Don't bore the hell out of them with it. Sometimes you've got to suffer in silence a little bit, Maybe deal with it yourself in other ways, and so you don't end up pushing these people away. But also engage with them as well, If you got, just don't overdo it. I've seen some people. My son's disabled, as you see, and although he's very good and he doesn't moan at all, I've got an itchy ear. I don't think that's fibromyalgia, is it? Itchy ear syndrome. And some of his friends and that are just constantly complaining. But complaining about everybody else. They haven't done this, or they haven't done that. I'm disabled and all that stuff, do you know what I mean? Sort of this kind of prima donna type stuff, entitlement, because they're disabled. It shouldn't have to be everybody else's problem, should it? And the same with our fibromyalgia. We have to obviously find ways with ourselves to be able to cope with it. And there are coping mechanisms, I mentioned before about meditation, just sleeping. I find that helps. I now have a siesta every day. I just find it very difficult to get through the day otherwise. And I need that bit of sleep because I don't sleep very well at night, you see, so I don't get enough sleep. Some days I get 4 hours, sometimes on a good day I'll get 6. But it builds up and builds up before you know, flip it out, you get to 4 days in and you look like a zombie all day. You can't function. And, I still have to work, I still have to bring the money in. Otherwise, I just wouldn't be able to pay the bills, I could, I suppose, try and get some disability benefit or something like that. But I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. Plus, I live in France as well, which I don't want to be one of them people who've come to live in France and burdened the health service here, and obviously the social care and all that. I don't want to do that. People just see you as being a problem instead of a part of the solution, unfortunately. But yeah, you just need to talk. And then for me, another way I manage my condition is literally doing these videos. It's a way for me to actually just get it out of my system. If you know what I mean, it's just to talk. Okay, it's not responding, needless to say, but you just get it out of your head. So I think that it's potentially helpful. I think it is. And also it gives me a way of logging the condition as well, how it's affected me and how either it's progressed or different medications and stuff like that, how they've helped or not helped. Friends might not want to know all that stuff, but you can talk about other stuff. Sometimes just that companionship, talking to other people is enough. You don't necessarily have to be talking about, I'm in pain, or my back, my legs, my brain fog. Isn't necessarily very conducive to a good relationship, is it? I don't think so, anyway. Obviously, you want them to be aware that you've got a problem, but you don't necessarily want to burden them with it. Anyway, that's my thoughts, anyway. So I thought I'd just share it with you. Whoever wants to listen. But I suppose, long story short, you just need to find someone to talk to. Whatever works for you. Which is meditation or something. A walk in the countryside. I've said that before, haven't I? Just to breathe. Because unfortunately, there's a high risk of, suicide amongst fibromyalgia sufferers. So, through depression, basically, because of the pain. Anyway, like I said, I just want to share it with you. Then I started blurbing again. Anyway, toodaloo.